What's going on, guys? My name is Ricky Bowden, and I'm a former Army combat photographer and your virtual mentor here with Shoot Better Sports, where we literally teach you how to shoot better sports. In this video, I'm going to share with you my approach to shooting basketball. Stay tuned. Again, guys, I'd like to provide a disclaimer that all the images used in this video are my images that I took personally. They didn't come from anywhere else. I was on assignment at some of these games and I took these images. Now let's get right into it. In the beginning of a basketball game, the first thing I like to do is I like to get there early enough where I can get some pregame shots. They have layup lines, they're doing different things where there's stretches or whatever it may be. And so I try to get there early enough to get some of those things and have those things. And also, if there's any unique signs, I try to get that as well. For the most part, I just try to get some shots, and it's also an awesome and great time to go ahead and start establishing your settings to see what you're going to be shooting on throughout the game. It will change sometimes, but that's a good time to get great opportunity for you to just get your lighting. Once the game is tipped off, the first thing I do is I position myself on the right side of the basket because most players are right-handed. So a lot of the layups and a lot of the action is going to be coming to that side. So you'll be shooting left on your right. So a lot of times most of the action comes from that side and you can get a lot of great shots. Also, when you position yourself on that side, you want to be at a low angle. So you either want to be sitting crisscross applesauce or you either want to be down on a knee getting low angle shots. Sports are more interesting from a low angle. Nobody really wants to see shots of you standing straight up, shots and angles or views that any normal person can see. They want to see the game from a different angle. So you always need to be shooting from a low angle when you're shooting sports, especially basketball, because if they have cool things in the ceiling or cool signage around the gym, you can get all that because you're at a low angle and you can get all that in your shot. I only use the left side of the basket to get like coaches shots from the bench, reactions and things of that nature. And sometimes there's action that comes to the left to give you a different perspective. But for the most part, that's what I use the left side of the basket for. But mostly I use the right. But there are reasons to use the left, and it's for those reasons I just said. Also, make sure that you shoot down the court. And what I mean by down the court, the opposite end. So you may be on one side of the court stationed to your right, but when they go down to the other side of the court, make sure you're shooting down there too. A 7200 should be able to reach down there, and you can get a lot of cool like mix-ups, and you can get intense faces on players playing defense against the team that's on offense. Sometimes you can get just some things that you can't get normally if you don't go down there, if you don't focus on shooting down there. Now, I will say a 7200 is probably all you would need, but you can also play with the 300 millimeter if you want some real tight stuff. A 300 millimeter will work in there as well for the down the court stuff, and then for like really close up of somebody maybe banging the ball down or things of that nature. But for the most part, you need a 7200 is all you need to get that. In many cases, shooting basketball, you're going to be shooting in a poorly lit gym. And a lot of times we have the tendency to try to keep the grain out of our image by making sure we can have our ISO as low as possible. But in this situation, you cannot afford to compensate your shutter speed for ISO. And here's why. Because if you go down on your shutter speed, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have motion blur in your images, and that just doesn't look good. You can fix grain, but you cannot fix motion blur. After I feel I've gotten everything I needed from the floor, I head up into the stands to get a higher vantage point. What I've found over my time shooting these games is that I gain a stop of light when I move up into the stands, because on the floor, the light is down, up. When you get in the stands, the light is now coming down, which gives you an extra stop of light. Going up in the stands can give you some interesting shots that you don't have and some different vantage points that you can't get from the floor. And so I'll go up there and get that just to give myself variety of the things that I want to shoot. And then from there, usually I'll just freelance from there and I'll go and get things that I don't have. But shooting in the stands can be great and could afford you some shots that is very interesting. If this is your first time watching the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. the like button in conjunction with the bell notification icon so you will be notified when I post new content. Again, guys, Ricky Bowden here for Shoot Better Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video.